Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to a check presentation. A number of check presentations this morning, and we're really honored and privileged that we can continue to support some very, very worthwhile causes and initiatives that we have been supporting for a few years, a number of years, but also to make a special presentation to Mary's Harbour and Lodge Bay in memory of one of our own who tragically passed away in an accident just a few weeks ago, and was a huge loss. So I want to welcome you all here. It is the first time that we have done a virtual check presentation since COVID, although we've had numerous meetings. So I'm really happy that we could all be together here to do this morning. And on the line, I just want to introduce some of the people we have in attendance. We have Al Pelly. Al is the head of revenue development for the Canadian Cancer Society. And Al is going to be receiving a check for the Ear Daffodil program, which we're very happy to support. It will allow people from Labrador to travel to the island for cancer treatment and care. And the donation that we're going to be making will, I think, allow for 10 return trips. So we're happy to have Al with us. And then we have from, originally St. Louis, Fox Harbour, but Guy Poole, who's no stranger to Liz's Walk. In fact, he's the founder of Liz's Walk, a walk that raises money to find a cure for diabetes, and in memory of his ex-wife, Liz, who passed away due to complications from diabetes. Since the walk began, Guy has, and his team, and I know he's joined today by his wife, Doreen, have raised hundreds of thousands of dollars in memory of Liz, in support of finding a cure. And we have in Mary's Harbour and Lodge Bay, we have the mayor, Alton Rumbold, and the fire chief, Jeff Rumbold, with us from Mary's Harbour, and then the acting fire chief, I think, from Lodge Bay, Sheldon Pye. And as I've said, we're making a special presentation to both the fire departments in honor of one of our own who has passed away tragically, Keith Rumbold. So really happy to have you all here. And so my first check will go out to Al Pelly, and we're making a contribution to the Canadian Cancer Society for the Ear Daffodil program in the amount of $5,000. And we're very honored and privileged, as I've said, to make that presentation to you today, Mr. Pelly.
Well, I really want to thank you, President Russell, and the members of your council for your continued support of this program. Today, I wear my daffodil pin. It's Daffodil Month for the Canadian Cancer Society, and the daffodil, of course, is a symbol of hope for people who are going through a cancer journey. But this program, our Air Daffodil program, has we've been operating this program and offering this service since 2015, and we've provided over 1,300 flights since that time to people living with cancer from all parts of Labrador. And it's a Labrador specific program. We don't offer it anywhere else other than in the Labrador region, because we know that it's very costly to travel from Labrador. And quite often when people get their appointments for cancer treatments, it's on very short notice. And so we're able to turn around the tickets very quickly, so that it helps alleviate that financial burden and stress that they're faced with. We just want them to be able to focus on getting well. And thanks to wonderful organizations like the NunatuKavut Community Council, we're able to provide this worthwhile and important service. And you've been a part of our program since day one. And so I would suggest that over the last 5-6 years, you've provided close on $30,000 in funding to this program, which has helped a lot of people in Labrador when they needed that help the most to travel for cancer care. So on behalf of the Canadian Cancer Society and all of those who utilize this important service in Labrador, thank you so much for this generosity.
Thank you very much, Al. And I know it'll go to great use and it'll help a lot of families.
It will.
And, just as an aside, we often feel that these types of resources that we provide is part of the whole care continuum for people who are facing medical challenges and situations. And as you said, when you alleviate that financial stress that you know that causes so much angst and worry on people, then that's helping them in terms of their recovery, in terms of their care. So I thank you very, very much. Likewise, in terms of chronic diseases and trying to find a cure and help people through difficulty. The Liz's Walk, as I've said, is a specific initiative that was inspired by the passing of Liz, and wanting to do good and to help others. And Guy has certainly not only talked that talk, but he's walked that walk literally now for many, many years. And for those who will see this and who are on the line, Liz's Walk usually takes place over a week and a half, and Guy walks approximately 300 kilometers or more each year on this walk, which equates to about what, 5 or 6 marathons. He walks, continuously, basically, for that period of time. So it's a remarkable feat. He says he's a spring chicken, but his hips and his feet tell him otherwise sometimes. But he's a wonderful friend, a great promoter of doing good and good works. And so I'm really happy to present another check to the Diabetes Canada for Liz's Walk in the amount, again, of $5,000. And we're really happy to have Guy join us this morning to virtually receive this check. So good morning to you, Guy.
Thank you so much, Todd, and I'd like to thank NunatuKavut for their continued support for Liz's Walk. It's just amazing with the money that NunatuKavut have given to Liz's Walk over the years. And in our organization, of course, we know that there's a lot of people who have diabetes, and a lot of people outside of our organization have diabetes. And I'm sure that this $5,000 will go a long way in to try and find a cure for diabetes. And like I've always said, that I'm going to keep on walking till he finds a cure for diabetes, or I can't walk anymore. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Guy. And our final presentation, again, is inspired by tragedy, but there's this saying, there's a dark cloud where there's not a silver lining. And I can only say that, Keith's passing was a very, very dark cloud over the communities, honestly, the entirety of Southern Labrador, and particularly in the community of Lodge Bay and Mary's Harbour. And he was a community man. He fought for his community. He did what he could to help advance his community. He could be loud and he could be vocal, and that's what was required. But he was also a man of action. He didn't mind putting the hard work in that needed to be done in order to achieve certain things for his community. And when he passed, the family had gotten together and wondered, what would be something that would really memorialize Keith's work, Keith's life. And instead of providing flowers or things of that nature, the family asked that donations would be made for a cause that Keith was very much committed to, which was the fire department in Lodge Bay and in Mary's Harbour, because oftentimes they do work together. And in fact, he was so appreciative of the work that the Mary's Harbour Fire Department had done in response to a fire not too long ago in the community of Lodge Bay. And so in talking to his family, I said that NCC wanted to do something to recognize this. And so we're really, really happy to have representatives from Mary's Harbour, the mayor and the fire chief, as I've introduced. And we also have Mr. Pye, Sheldon Pye from Lodge Bay. And I'm really happy to make a $4,000 donation to the town of Mary's Harbour, which will be split between the fire departments of Mary's Harbour and Lodge Bay. And when I told the family that I was making this donation, or we were making this donation in the name of Keith, the Member of Parliament, Yvonne Jones, who is the sister of Keith, said, Keith would say, that's no more than you should be doing. And so bring on the donation. And I'm sure that's exactly what he would say. But it is indicative of the type of person he was. And we're very, very honored again to be able to make this presentation in his name. And so here's our presentation of $4,000.
Yeah. Thanks, Todd, very much, and well said. Keith was one of them that was always a bit loud, or I got to slack this a bit. It's hard to talk for this.
We got our done.
But anyway, thanks for the donation, Todd. It's a great donation and gone to a good cause. And I'm sure Keith would appreciate it, no doubt. And Keith was always one of them that you said, well spoken. If he asked something on his mind, he said it. If you liked it or you didn't, in a way, but he never ever meant no harm by it, and he helped you any way he could. That's just the way Keith was. But it is for a good cause, and we, as the town of Mary's Harbour and the town council, or the Great Lodge Bay, we thank you very much for all the things that the NunatuKavut have done for these communities in the last so many years, especially with COVID gone. I've noticed quite a few things going around these areas. There's senior citizens, and I don't think I ever seen some so proud before to have this grocery box. So I'm not taking away from the Keith, but as NunatuKavut, as what they do, I just want to put that there too. And they were pretty happy, and we had a time like this. But anyway, I'll go back and say thank you once again for all the work that you do as a group. Your group is
Sorry.
in the right way, is helping people. And I thank you once again, and I'll let Jeff and Sheldon now say a few words also. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Rumble.
Yeah, thank you very much, Todd and NunatuKavut, for donating that fund. I think in total for Keith's memory now, we have a total of $12,000. That's pretty big, right? You know.
That is wow.
Yeah, and we got lots of things that we need to do with that money. I mean, we're in the process of getting a new roof on our existing fire hall, thanks to NunatuKavut again. And we have purchased land, and shortly down the road, we're going to be in the process of building a new fire hall. And when we get a new fire hall that can house a proper truck, then we're going to be looking to get a truck as well. So that's the shift that we're going in these days, and the focus. And when we get it all done, then myself and Glennis says we're going to retire. but thank you very much. But like when we get our new truck on that, we will be able to assist Lodge Bay much better than we've done in the past. But we'll continue doing that the best we can with what we have.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks again.
thanks again, Todd, for this donation. I know Keith would be really appreciative of this. I kind of touched on this one, but your brother-in-law and all. But I know as the Fire Brigade in Lodge Bay and Mary's Harbour is very appreciative of this money that you donated. Thanks again.
And thank you all you guys for what you're doing in the community. I mean, it's so important work that you know, when some of us are not around to do some of this lifting, that we have others to do it, and really appreciate it.
Todd, yeah, just before you go, I didn't want to take away from what Keith's what he's been doing and the money's went towards him. But I also want to thank you for all what you do for the communities along the coast, and Mary's Harbour was one of them. When it come to our lift stations and things like that, and like Jeff said, our fire hall, you know, there's things that we wouldn't get done very easy without that. But that sometimes the money that you give us to help the towns, that means a lot and going a long way. So I really want to thank you for that also.
Well, yes, thanks, Alton. Like, I mean, we're making these contributions today to some very specific initiatives. But I want to assure you that it's our hope that we can continue, yes, supporting these types of initiatives and doing more, and working hand in hand with these various, you know, causes and communities and organizations to really advance the health and well-being of our people and our communities. That's really where they want to be. So thank you all so much for this morning.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.